I am so freaking excited to be here for the Sunday Soul Service and offer you some full moon lunar eclipse medicine. So here I am. My name is Shannon Hugman, and I'm of soul service to you on this Sunday in this beautiful playground that I am so thankful to be a part of. So basically, what I'm going to be doing today is talking a bit about the upcoming energies, giving you a maybe a different perspective or a new perspective, or maybe you already hold this perspective. Either way, it's okay. But I'm going to give you my take on a full moon and a lunar eclipse in a way that will empower you. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a couple suggestions. So you can take your notebook out or your journal and some takeaways for how you can implement this energy into your life. And then, depending on how long I babble, I might do a little fun activity at the end. So, here we go. Like I said, I'm Shannon Hugman. So grateful to be here. And I call myself an intuitive astrologer. Although that label or definition is always morphing and changing, because astrology as I know it and as many people know it has a lot of misconceptions. And I often think that word astrology is kind of like a blanket statement for a whole bunch of different things. I like to come from the understanding that I'm an energetic person. And when I talk about astrology, I am talking about the energies of the cosmos. Now, the thing is that the planets are not doing anything to you. I'll repeat that again. This is important. The planets are not doing anything to you. Instead, they are currents of energy that are flowing all around us. Now, you and I and every single human being on this earth have free will. We can choose what we want to do. We are our own force fields of energy. And again, we get to choose. Now, the thing is, we can choose to swim with these currents. We can choose to align with these currents. And from my experience, everything I share, I have been my own guinea pig and tested on myself. From my experience, when we align with these benevolent energies, like astrology, life can get really fun. Just like we can connect to angelic energies, or we can connect to the energies of the earth, or we can connect to energies of communities. Astrology is about having a forecast or having a bird's eye view and knowing which way the current is flowing, so that if you are swimming upstream, at least you know, so you can turn around and swim the other way. So a lunar eclipse is essentially a full moon on steroids, we can say, and they happen every 6 months. So this eclipse is actually ending a 6-month cycle that began in September. So the 1st of September, actually. So what I want to say, I'm going to talk about the general energies of this full moon, and then I'm going to offer some suggestions and some takeaways. So first of all, what I want to say is that this lunar eclipse full moon is at the 22nd degree of Aquarius and Leo, which means that the sun is over here in Aquarius and the moon is over here in Leo, and they're opposite each other. Now, when we have this contrast between the sun, which we can consider our conscious awareness, and the moon, which is very much our emotions, our feelings, the hidden parts, the subconscious. We can think of it, just to keep it simple, conscious awareness versus subconscious. When we have this opposition, which happens every 28 days, it's as if our conscious awareness, we have this flashlight, and we get to shine a flashlight on these areas of us that are normally very hidden or unaware. So I like to use the example of, let's imagine that you have been given, say you have a storage unit, and you have a storage unit, have all this stuff in this storage unit. Now, for some reason, the lights in your storage unit have gone out, and it's been broken for a long time, so you forget what you even have in there. This, or any full moon, but specifically this one, is an extra dose of insightful energy. It's like someone gives you a flashlight, and you get to go into that storage unit and find all the things that maybe you're holding on to. Now, when you find that old book, you get to choose, do I want to integrate this book into my life, or do I want to let it go? Maybe you find an old sofa that you just don't have room for, so you can let that go. So the full moon is about, first of all, things bubbling to the surface so we can be aware of them, and second of all, when we're aware of them, choosing, okay, are we going to embrace it and welcome it, or are we going to choose to release it? Now, this full moon is actually a lunar eclipse, which means we're essentially letting go or releasing the last 6 months. And the reason we're doing this is because we're 2 weeks from the lunar eclipse. And again, the lunar eclipse is on on February 11th around midnight Universal Time. So February 10th for a lot of us in North America. Now the thing is, 2 weeks from that, which I believe will be the 24th of February, we have a solar eclipse, which is a new opportunity, a whole new beginning. So we're letting go of the last 6 months. We're seeing what have we been holding on to. And it can go farther than 6 months. We can let go of things that have been in our storage unit our whole life. There is no sort of maximum amount of release. It's as much as we want. But let's talk about this specific lunar eclipse. And so it's happening at the 22nd degree. Now 22 is the master number or a master number. But when I see these master numbers, I don't believe or I don't feel it's like you're the master and let's bow to you or I'm the master. I feel like we are all now asked to step into mastery of ourselves. Now the thing is, the moon is over here in Leo triggering some pretty feisty, hot, dramatic emotions. And the sun is over here in Aquarius saying, how can we collectively overcome this? How can we join together? I always think when I have Aquarius energy or when I feel into Aquarius energy, imagine like a globe with everybody holding hands around it. We're all in it together. You can really feel how there is so much togetherness on our planet right now, but this togetherness has come from a catalyst of a lot of drama. Now, what I want to invite you to do, this is your takeaway, is to look at the drama that's unfolding externally as a reflection of an inner turmoil that may be going on within you. Now, I know this can be a pretty charged topic when I even bring up the topic of global events, but the thing is, a lot of the hate and the discrimination that we are seeing isn't really something new. It's been a part of human history. Hatred has kind of been a constant, but we've been able to, maybe candy coat it in a way where it hasn't affected us immediately. So what this full moon is, I really see it as like the master level or the final exams for our master's degree of compassion, of love, and of acceptance, but also of self-development. So what I'm going to invite you to do is take a look at your triggers. What is triggering you? And invite yourself to take the perspective that even if it seems like it's something outside of yourself that's triggering you, make it about you. See how you can learn about your relationship to yourself. Because the thing is, we're all fighting a war within ourselves. And the only way to stop the fight externally is to stop the fight internally. Revolution is an inside job, and this lunar eclipse is a call to action to really walk that talk. Now the thing is, once we go into ourselves and we connect into ourselves and we continue to first of all accept ourselves where we're at, accept our lives where we're at, and let that acceptance organically bloom into self-love. And let that self-love in time, divine timing, grow into a self-celebration. I'm not going to ask you to dive headfirst into love yourself, all that kind of schmoozy stuff that nobody really wants to hear anymore, but you can start by accepting yourself. And really understanding that the things that are triggering you externally are mirroring some sort of internal struggle that's within us. Now the thing is, what's exciting is when we have these big global triggers, we are given an opportunity to collectively heal. Because when you're doing your self-awareness, when you're examining your triggers and asking, how can I accept myself more? How can I shift my into my highest resonance? Then you make an impact. But if I'm doing it, I'm making an impact. And that's how we really embody that image of everybody holding hands together. So another thing I want to invite you to kind of think of this as, like I said, this is like final exams. This is master level. This is writing your thesis. And I know when I was in college, I did not want to write exams. I did not like it. But I chose to go to college. So I want you to kind of think of it that way. You chose to incarnate on the planet right now. You're not a victim, even if it feels really real like you are. We've chosen to be here. The universe is a friendly place. And self-acceptance, allowing that self-acceptance to grow into self-love and allowing that to grow into self-celebration is your best bet. So what are you ready to let go of over the last 6 months? What are you ready to take responsibility for? And how can you stop that war within yourself? So thank you so much. I'm proud of myself to keep it under 10 minutes. Lots of love, and I'm cheering you on.